3.
Hi, my name's Jessica and I'm going to teach you how to distill your own hydrosols with your own homemade still. For those of you who don't know what a hydrosol is, it's the byproduct of the steam distillation of essential oils from organic plant matter. Being that it's a byproduct, it's much less concentrated than essential oil, and so it's much gentler on the skin. For that reason, it's often found in homemade and organic body care products made for both infants and adults with sensitive skin types. To get started with our still, we'll first need a few pieces of equipment. The first of those being a glass or other non-metal pot. With that pot, you want to make sure that you have a tight-fitting lid so that when you flip it upside down, when you make your still, none of the steam is going to escape. After you've found your pot, you're going to want to get yourself a double boiler maker. These can be found at various health food stores. I bought mine online for $5 at glorybfoods.com. If you don't want to use this or go buy one, you can always go out to your yard and find a few stones. Anything really will work as long as it elevates our next piece of equipment, which is a heat-resistant container of some kind. I just have a nice little bowl. They work perfectly fine. And then next to that, after you've found all of those products, you are going to want to get your herb. I'm using chamomile for this video, but you can use any herb that you choose. Whatever smells good to you, whatever has the medicinal effects you're trying to get, whatever. The next piece of equipment is you're going to want a glass receptacle, also heat resistant, so you can pour your hydrosol into it as soon as it's been done. Make sure that it has a tight seal on it once you've bottled it. We will also need distilled water. We don't want any tap water because it has chlorine in it and we don't want any of that getting into the hydrosol. And the final piece of equipment is actually in the freezer, and that is ice. So, once you get these pieces of equipment, we can move them on over to the stove. Alright, to get started on making our hydrosol, it's really quite simple. We're just going to put the double boiler into the bottom of the pan, and we're going to dump our herbs right in there. We're going to move them around and make sure that none of them are up on the double boiler or the stones, if that's what you got. And then we're going to cover them with just enough water to where it's just covering the herbs themselves. They'll float, but that's okay. That won't harm your hydrosol in any way. You'll still get all the components you're looking for. Then you'll place the bowl directly on top of the double boiler maker or on top of your stones. And you'll take your lid, flip it upside down, and secure it so that the knob or the curved handle is directly above the receptacle for your hydrosol. Let's move these. Now, we're going to turn our stove top onto high, and we're just going to let that start to simmer. Once it gets to simmering, we don't want a full boil. Make sure it's just at a simmer. And once it gets a good strong simmer going, you're going to reduce the heat to between 3 and 4 on your stove. And as soon as the glass starts fogging up, you're going to want to put ice on top of it and secure the ice. Make sure it doesn't fall out of there. What that's going to do is it's going to make the water vapor that's coming up with all the essences of the plant, it's going to turn it directly into condensation, so it'll drop right into the receptacle, ensuring you get a good hydrosol. And that's really all there is to it. You just let this simmer for about 4 to 5 hours, possibly 8, depending on your rate of simmering and on the amount of hydrosol you want to gain. You can check it after a couple hours, and if your hydrosol is full, your receptacle is full, it's perfectly fine to go ahead and dump that into your other heat-resistant container. And then just put the bowl back in and let it go again. You can keep making hydrosol until all the water has run out, but once the water's gone, that's it. No more hydrosols can be made from that. And that's how you make your own homemade still and your own homemade hydrosol. Thank you for watching this video.